From Neural Newscast, this is Prime Cyber Insights, intelligence for defenders, leaders, and decision-makers.
This is Prime Cyber Insights for July 10th, 2026. Joining me for today's briefing is Lauren.
Thanks, Aaron. We're also joined by Chad Thompson, a director-level AI and security leader with a focus on automation, enterprise risk, and operational resilience. Chad, it is good to have you here.
We are leading today with GigaWiper. Microsoft and Binary Defense have deconstructed this Windows backdoor, which is notable for integrating 3 legacy destructive tools into a single Go-based platform. It offers operators a menu of options: wipe the raw physical drive, overwrite the Windows drive, or deploy fake ransomware that scrambles files with a key it never saves.
The attribution is also compelling. While Microsoft hasn't named a country, Binary Defense links the malware, tracked as Blue Rabbit, to an Iran-nexus group targeting Israeli organizations. Chad, GigaWiper effectively turns the attacker's toolkit into a Swiss Army knife for destruction. From a systems perspective, how does this platformization change the way we evaluate enterprise risk?
Aaron, the consolidation we see in GigaWiper is a significant shift in operational efficiency for the adversary. By moving to a modular Go-based architecture, the attacker no longer needs to decide their end-state goal, whether that is espionage or total destruction, at the moment of entry. They can sit inside a network using V-N-C and screen recording capabilities to map the environment, then flip a switch to trigger a disk-level wipe once the mission is complete.
It seems to blur the line between a traditional breach and a total loss event. Lauren, how are we seeing these capabilities manifest on the network side?
The signal-to-noise ratio is the real challenge. GigaWiper disguises itself as a OneDrive update and utilizes legitimate business services like RabbitMQ and Redis for command and control. This means on a modern enterprise network, the malicious traffic looks like standard automation. From a systems level, the risk is that the technical indicators are now buried within the tools we use for legitimate operations, making automated remediation much harder to trigger without high-fidelity detection.
That complexity makes the recovery phase even more critical. Chad, if the goal is a dead machine rather than a payout, what does that do to the standard incident response playbook?
It forces a pivot from negotiation to pure resilience. Since the ransomware component doesn't save a key, there is literally no way back except through clean, offline backups. Enterprises have to move away from reactive patching and toward hardened identity perimeters and immutable data storage. If you can't trust the machine's boot manager or its event logs because the malware is actively taking ownership of them, your only defense is a system that can be rebuilt entirely from a zero state.
Chad, thanks for that analysis. Shifting to identity-based threats, a new group called Helix is utilizing vishing and spoofed IDs to compromise SharePoint environments. ReliaQuest reports they impersonate managers over the phone to push device code phishing schemes. Once they have access, they quickly register a new MFA app and bulk download files using automated Python scripts.
That focus on identity is a recurring theme this week. Datadog Security Labs warned of ghost GitHub accounts, some years old, that are being used to systematically map corporate repositories through the API. We're also seeing a critical unpatched backdoor in Tenda routers, tracked as 2026 Cape Verde Escudos 11405, where a hard-coded credential allows full admin access, regardless of the configured password.
Whether it's GigaWiper's modular destruction or Helix's identity-focused extortion, the common thread is the adversary's ability to blend into legitimate infrastructure. Practitioners should prioritize monitoring RabbitMQ traffic from desktops and disabling device code authentication where possible. That concludes our briefing.
This has been Prime Cyber Insights. For the team at Neural Newscast, stay resilient. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com. For more technical analysis, visit pci.neuralnewscast.com.
This has been Prime Cyber Insights on Neural Newscast. Intelligence for defenders, leaders, and decision makers.